What is up, YouTube? Darky is55 here, and I'm accompanied by my good friend
Super Zeke. Hey guys, what's up?
And today we want to talk about creepypastas. I'll let Zeke take this.
Alright, the origin of creepypasta started out with something called copypasta, which most of us probably remember from our childhood back when it was bigger. You know, the kind of things your friends would send you and it'd be like, oh, you know, if you say ah la 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 la, and, I don't know, slap a black woman, and then send this to 10 people, your wish will come true. And it was stuff like that, and that was copypasta. Well, eventually copypasta evolved into creepypasta, which was the creepier stuff people would send them. It'd be like, I send you the backstory of Slender Man, and then I tell you that if you don't send this to 10 people, Slender Man's going to come and kill you. And that's how stuff like creepypasta started out. And that is the origin of creepypasta. History lesson!
But over time, people decided that just forwarding scary stories wasn't enough, so now creepypastas are just online urban legends, and people gather to read them, and sometimes listen to them, as a lot of people have decided to talk about them on YouTube.
Yeah,
anyway,
eventually we decided the whole send this to 10 people was annoying, because we kept on, like, getting shit like the rake in our emails, and we were just like, I will not speak tonight.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Anyways, today we are going to be talking about our top 10 favorite creepypastas.
Alright, let's get started. And I'll be taking this away with our number 10, Slender Man. Well, some of you might be surprised that Slender Man's not that high on our list. In fact, he's the lowest ranking in our list. This is because both me and Darkius think that Slender Man is extremely overrated for how much he's talked about and how many games have been created about him. For those of you, however, who don't know what Slender Man is a creature that stalks you and slowly drives you insane, but he won't attack you or do any harm to you if you're staring directly at him. But often staring at him will drive you insane more because he has no face and his face constantly morphs. And at number 9 we have Berryman. Berryman is a creepypasta about some code lost in the original Red and Blue Pokemon that, if played after being unscrambled because it had been scrambled by the developers, would unlock a boss in the game that you could fight in the Tower of Ghosts in Lavender Town. If you lost to this Berryman, then it would show a sprite of red being pulled into the ground by a corpse.
And at number 8 we have Jeff the Killer. Once again, I'm pretty sure some of you may be surprised if he's not much higher on the list, but once again, he's kind of cliched, as he is one of the more popular creepypastas that everybody seems to talk about. But just for those of you who don't know, Jeff the Killer is an insane kid who had a traumatic childhood, and some things went down at a party, and now he's an insane killer who murdered his family. That's about it. And the number 7 spot goes to SmileDog or Smile.jpg, whichever you prefer. Basically, the story of SmileDog is where there was this picture called Smile.jpg, and it was basically of a dog smiling through a window, and it would drive people insane if they looked at it for too long, and eventually you'd get an email that says spread the word. Refusal to send the email to multiple people with the picture attached would normally cause an hacking because it was used by a gang. And taking the number 6 spot is the Zolgo, also known as He Who Waits Behind the Wall. Now, the Zolgo is a creature shrouded in darkness, or more or less, it is darkness itself. It has 7 mouths, each which speak their own different language, and the more you know about him, the more the wall gets weakened. The wall is a protective barrier that keeps him from wreaking havoc on the world. If the wall breaks, then all 7 mouths shall sing the song that ends the world, or so the legend goes.
Taking our number 5 spot is the creepypasta Pale Luna. Pale Luna is about an old text-based video game from back when all video games were text-based, that while playing through it, a lot of people couldn't get through it. One guy, eventually spending a lot of hours, does and finds some coordinates at the end. What he finds on those coordinates in the real world is quite devastating, but I'll leave that much for you. Coming in on our number 4 spot is Lavender Town Syndrome, which is basically the music that plays in Lavender Town. There are little high-pitched sounds in it that only children can hear because old people can't hear them because they're old and stuff. And the music often causes children to commit suicide and other side effects, headaches, trauma, and things like that. And that is Lavender Town Syndrome. Coming in at our number 3 spot is the all-acclaimed Tails doll, which most of you probably heard about, but for those who haven't, Tails doll is about a person who plays the original racing game for Sonic, and You go through this certain trial, you beat it in a certain order playing as the Tails doll, and then the Tails doll comes through the screen, a bunch of freaky stuff happens, and I'm not going to describe because I'll leave that much for you guys to read. This is one of my personal favorites, so go check it out.
And coming out on the number 2 spot is my personal favorite creepypasta, Ben Drowned. Basically, a Majora's Mask cartridge for the N64 was haunted by a kid named Ben who had drowned, and some guy had bought it off of a creepy old man at a garage sale, and then he started to play it, and it started to kind of screw up his game, and then the curse kind of went to Cleverbot and all this kind of stuff, and the guy's basically haunted by Ben for all of eternity now. But before we reach number 1, let's have a few honorable mentions. Herobrine, the Minecraft devil creepypasta basically. The Rake, related to Slenderman. It has a rather lovely ending. I'm not going to spoil anything, just know, it has a rather lovely ending. Squidward Suicide, children kill themselves because of a hidden SpongeBob episode. Eyeless Jack, a creature that eats your kidneys in your sleep if you catch even a tiny little glimpse of him. And the Russian sleep experiment. Just know that after you're done reading that, you're not going to sleep like they did.
And coming in at number 1 is Sonic.exe. What to say about Sonic.exe? Let me see. Guy buys a cartridge, kind of like the Ben Drowned thing. Bad cartridge. Everyone dies! It starts out with, you're starting out as Tails, you're running through the forest, and there's a bunch of dead things, then Sonic kills Tails, he kills Knuckles, and then he goes to kill Eggman, and you know. It's just a bad scenario. It's a really good creepypasta. You should go and read it, but whatever you do, don't go and download the